Hello, dear ones. We have a powerful new moon on July 17th in Cancer in Vedic Astrology. And this is a very auspicious new moon as it brings in the energy of making light again, the return of the light, and gives us an opportunity to restart something that maybe we started before, whether it was in our business or whether it was in our exercise routine, a way we take care of ourselves, and maybe it didn't go the way we wanted to or just wasn't successful at all. This gives us the opportunity to do it again, to restart again with success. Sometimes we have to do a practice run first. It's in the sensitive, emotional sign of Cancer, which is all about comfort and security and home and family, and really brings in our vulnerability. And the sun and the moon are just coming into Cancer. It's really literally not even a degree as it comes into this sign. So it's a very powerful start of a new cycle, as the new moon is always starting a new cycle. Hi, I'm Prema Gurreri, and welcome to Chart Your Path. I am so glad that you're here. If you're new to the channel, I really appreciate you liking, sharing this here on YouTube, social media, with your friends. And if you do not know what your Vedic Astrology ascendant is or moon sign, you'll want to get my free chart calculator, and you get a free guide with that to understand what the houses mean more so you can make more sense of these updates. That link is down below in the description. You can also find it on my website at Solutionary, SOULUTIONARY, solutionary.com. And I always invite you to my full moon healing circles. The link is down below. Our next one will be on August 1st, and we will have an incredible healing because we'll be including the relationship issues coming up with the Venus retrograde. The new moon in Cancer on July 17th in Vedic Astrology in Punarvasu is at about 0.45 degrees. It's just coming into the sign, and this is the great nurturer. It's also the queen in the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype system, and a very, very powerful new moon to start a new cycle, and especially Punarvasu, return of the light, to start something new, something that maybe you've started before, gives you an opportunity to start it again in this very sensitive emotional sign of Cancer that's so devoted and empathetic and connected to home and family, the natural fourth house of the zodiac. Being the natural fourth house, it is connected to home and family, land, real estate, vehicles, mother, and devotion of the heart. It's a moksha house. Moksha houses are spiritual houses, and those are places that we retreat from the world, where we're more connected to our spirituality. And the fourth house is home, and home is a retreat from the world. It's where we can just let ourselves, down and be ourselves and feel nurtured. There's an energy with this new moon because of being in Punarvasu, which is a very auspicious nakshatra. It's actually ruled, the nakshatra itself is ruled by Jupiter and brings in that grace. But it's make light again. It's the return of the light. It comes after the nakshatra Ardra, which is a very stormy nakshatra, and this is like when the clouds part, the rays of the sun come in again, and we can see. It restores our faith. It brings many blessings with it. Mercury happens to be with this new moon in Cancer, and our communication with the great communicator is quite emotional with Mercury being in Cancer. So make sure you take the time to be connected from your heart, as Mercury is in Cancer till like the 24th of the month. So be very heart-centered in your communication. New moons are always about a new cycle, a time to set a new goal, a new soul goal, so to speak. And we are really focused on that part of the cycle for the first 15 days. Then we hit the full moon, and then we're in the contrast of that, and what do we need to recalibrate? So the primary motivation with this nakshatra happens to be Arta meaning acquisition. Every nakshatra has a motivation. It's either purpose, it's either wealth, arta, fulfillment of our desires and relationships come out, or moksha, spirituality. And this is known as the star of renewal, to do it again. And isn't it wonderful that we get the opportunity for a redo sometimes? This is a new moon that is very much about a redo. So what have you started in the past for yourself, in your home, family, business, project, exercise routine, whatever it is that maybe you weren't so successful with, that's really been on your heart, on your mind, and this is a great time to start it again. Now, if there isn't something like that for you and there's something that you've been wanting to start, give it a go. This is a great time for that. So it helps us to have that success that we get in a redo, because in a redo, we've taken time to look at things and we've got the light to do that. The self-purification with this return of this light, with this new moon, helps us to see more of who we truly are. And the better we know ourselves, the more we can navigate this vehicle of this human experience that we're having, and do it better. The reason I even do Vedic astrology is to help myself, help you understand oneself better, because the better we can understand ourselves, the better we can drive this vehicle of experience that we are living. This is one of the best investments you can make is in yourself, and really knowing yourself and understanding ourselves, and that's a lifelong process. How many times you thought, I really know this about myself, and then a few years later it becomes even more apparent, and you're like, oh, okay, now I've got it. That's because we're an expanding consciousness, and we are hopefully waking up all the time. So this inner reflection allows us to see through the programming, the conditioning, the fears that keep us from our essence, our true essence, from our light, and gives us the ability to see through that darkness. We're constantly being programmed, conditioned. Thoughts, are they ours? Are we being programmed with this? This helps us to get the light to really be able to see that. So take the time to tune in. And it's a very inward time. A new moon is always a very inward time. Being in Cancer, there's this energy of restoration, and that's what we do at home. Protective, caring, but it's an inward energy. Cancer is a ruler of a certain house in your chart. It's the natural fourth house of the zodiac: home, family, vehicles, property, real estate. But for you, depending on your chart, and that's why you want to get the chart calculator or come and get a reading from me, all my links are down below in the description, or you can always message me, is because it rules a certain area of your chart. Maybe it's your career, your 10th house. Maybe it's your 6th house, your health, your well-being, your work, it's a wealth house. So it's good to know, that level of things as well. If you don't know, that's okay. Take what I've got, understand whatever sinks in for you, and use at least one thing I have to say, and it'll serve you well. So being the star of renewal, again, this is the Shakti, is to start something new, because it gives you the opportunity to redo and to actually succeed. It's good for making life changes in any area of life, and again, it gives you the grace to achieve those things, whether it's something as mundane as starting a new diet, or whether it's this amazing new project or business or that you want to launch, or a new song you've written and you want to launch that to the world. The symbolism is a archer with a bow and with an arrow, and an archer is finding that aim. So what is it that you're starting new? Find that goal, that soul goal, and aims at that, and then takes a moment to reflect, really makes that aim align. What do you need to align in order to, hit the goal? And then lets go and, shoots for the goal. And if it misses, it gets to grab another arrow out of the quiver and aim again. So never be afraid to try again. Now, even if this doesn't work out, try again. Okay? Sometimes, we learn something new each time we do something. And it's also a springboard for your gifts and what you might have been hiding, because it's bringing in that light. The Sacred Wealth Code is all about understanding what your divine gifts are, especially your highest value gifts, the ones that are connected to your purpose and your prosperity. And that's where all these amazing archetypes come in, is from the Sacred Wealth Code. And so you have divine gifts, and allow this full moon to help enlighten you on the gifts that you have that maybe you're not giving so freely. Maybe you're hiding, and what are the beliefs and what are the fears that are there that you are, hiding behind. The full moon healing circles are really great for clearing any of that energy on whatever's, holding you back from your full potential, as well as my healing sessions. And again, I hold those full moon healing circles every full moon. Links are always down below. Then Aditi is the earth goddess, the divine mother, that also is representational in this nakshatra. And she's the mother of the 12 Adityas, and which are all about renewal, rebirth after death, like that storm, the light after the storm energy, and restoring something we maybe thought that we had lost. The divine mother's presence is everywhere. It is that nurturing presence, and Aditi is mother to the gods themselves, and helps to tend the seeds of which on the ground in which we're actually sowing them, so that those seeds can actually bear fruit. So this is all connected to nourishment. And again, all these beautiful words, replenish, redo, restore. It's a wonderful time to take some time inward, as new moons always are. It's a dark moon. It's an inner reflection, but to really just take some time to relax. If you don't know what it is that you want to start new, or what's you're sort of hiding, just relax, restore, do some replenishment, along with your meditation and journaling and, walks in nature. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's the summertime. Lay on the grass, look at the clouds. Allow yourself to have some restoration time, and things will come to the surface with this intention and around this new moon, and things will come up for you that are appropriate for you to align with and to start or to break through during this time. Now, this new moon will be opposite Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and the great organizer in the Sacred Wealth Code system, and Capricorn is a very structured sign. Pluto is there, and Pluto is the greatest planet of transformation. It's intensity, and it can be very cathartic as well. So that can bring in some intensity around this new moon, and you might feel a little bit cathartic with your emotions. So use your emotions wisely, meaning that use your wisdom in expressing your emotions. Understand that sometimes our emotional energy is that energy that's sort of the fluctuations on the surface, that is the reactions to the thoughts, but the real power in emotions is, what are we devoted to? What are we really devoted to? And as long as we're expressing from the heart, feeling through the heart and expressing from the heart, then we are more gracefully aligned with our emotions. The next full moon is going to be on August 1st. We have 2 full moons and 2 full moon healing circles in August, the 1st and the 30th. The one on the 1st, it is in Capricorn, which is opposite the new moon. It always works that way. And it's in the very intuitive nakshatra of Shravana, that's ruled by the moon. And Venus will already be in retrograde. I talk about this in my July update, and you can find the link for that down below, or probably at the end of this video as well. And I will be doing a special update just for the Venus retrograde as well. And this full moon coming up is really going to help us to transform some of the things we're attached to, some of our relationship and control issues, and really to heal those issues. So that's a little bit upcoming about the full moon. So what to watch out for with this new moon is overthinking, mental sort of vacillation. If you're feeling that way, you're like, okay, she said start something new, just make a choice. You cannot go wrong. The divine will kick your feet in the right direction. So if it's not exactly that, it will lead you to the next thing. The Venus retrograde, starting on July 22nd, is starting in Leo. Again, I talk about this in the July update, and I'll bring you another update about this. This is going to go on until the 4th of September, from Leo to Cancer, wherever that axis is in your chart. It's very powerful. This is going to be very transformative for relationships and what those signs mean for you, what your attachments are, because Venus is our planet of attachment, and that's not a bad thing. We need to be attached to the things we love, or we wouldn't love them or take care of them. But it's also love, relationship, wealth, beauty, devotion, intuition, our desires. It is absolutely the great connector, which I think I have behind me here too, the great connector. So more upcoming about that, and you're going to want to really pay attention to this. Venus only retrogrades every 2 years. It retrogrades, and so it was 8 years ago that it retrograded in this placement. So really, really powerful when planets are retrograding. And again, it gives us an opportunity to redo. I so appreciate you liking, sharing, subscribing. I would happy to answer any of your questions, your comments. What are you starting new? If you don't know now, come back and tell me. I read all of my comments. I'm really interested in what's going on for you. And it's a very powerful time. You are called to be here at the planet at this time, bringing more light in as we need. And what you start is incredibly impactful. If you want to know about any of my services, my readings, my programs, all the links are down below. And I appreciate you so much. So much love to you.